Hey guys, so it's that time of year where weeds have just taken over areas of my garden, my gravel walkways, and even in the concrete area. I haven't had a lot of time to do weed killing this year. I've been so busy, but I'm going to show you a formula that's completely biodegradable, all natural ingredients. It's pet safe, child safe, and it's guaranteed to work in just 24 hours. I'm going to show you before and after results so you'll be able to see for yourself how great this works. It's super simple to put together, so I'll show you exactly how to do it in just a few minutes. Now before I get started, I just want to say that this will work on your standard weeds you might have growing in a sidewalk or next to your sidewalk, and you can also strengthen it, and I'll show you exactly how to do that to kill things like poison ivy and other tough weeds that won't die easily, even sometimes brush. This is so strong, and the way it is applied to the brush and things like that, it will stick to it like super glue, and you'll be amazed at how quickly these things will die, especially poison ivy. It can be really tough to get rid of. Now everybody knows what this is. It's found in all grocery stores. It's just common Knox gelatin. We're going to take 2 packets of this and put it in cool water, and you need to wait about 5 minutes before you move on to the next step. So allow the gelatin to do its work, and you want to take something and stir this just slightly so it's well mixed with some cool water. Not cold, but just cool water. Now the next thing you want to do is you want hot water, not boiling water, but 2 cups of hot water, and you're going to pour your gelatin mix. Make sure it's not settled and it's well mixed, and you're going to add that to your hot water. So you'll end up with 4 cups of a lukewarm solution that's ready to go on to the next step. Now the next thing we're going to add is citric acid, and we're going to use 1 cup and add this to our current mixture. And you can do more than 1 cup if you've got some really tough weeds, but I think 1 cup is going to be fine. So we're going to do that right there. And I'm not knocking down any super heavy brush today. I'm just doing standard weeds and maybe a little bit of poison ivy. So there's our 1 cup of citric acid. Again, you want to stir this and mix it well. Don't allow it to settle. Just make sure it's well mixed. Now I've cleaned out the measuring cup, and I want to see if you can see this, but the Knox gelatin is so sticky that it's stuck to the inside of this, and I wiped it out with a really strong rag and a little bit of water, and it doesn't come out easy. So as you can see, this is a super sticky formula that will stick to any plant, even if a rain comes through. Now our next ingredient, we use it as a wetting agent. So we're going to use half a cup of Castile soap, very safe, biodegradable, organic. So this is again safe for pets and children. It's totally safe for your soil, so you don't have to worry about doing any damage. And this soap can kill some insects there. So if you have a lot of insects bothering you in your garden, this can take care of ants and other things that might be crawling around in the area you're going to spray. And so next we're adding a half a cup of our Castile soap. Just need 1/2 a cup there, and you want to introduce this to the formula slowly and don't stir too vigorously. You don't want to create too much foam there, so we just get it really close to the liquid and pour it in on the side there. Now for just everyday common weeds, we're going to use 5% vinegar on this, and this again is something that's safe to put in your soil. It's going to break down pretty quickly after a few rains. You don't have to worry about it. And these two are more for really strong weeds like poison ivy, or if you have a huge amount of brush growing there, you can either do 40% or this one, which is 75%. You're going to use 2 cups of one of these, either one of the 3, but today I'm just knocking down some ordinary weeds I've got growing in an area where I don't want any weeds. So we're going to take 2 cups of this, and we're going to add it to our mixing container. And just make sure that's almost 2 cups. Add it to our main picture there, and then we're going to give this one more stir. Make sure that our Knox gelatin and everything else is still mixed well, and then we're going to add this to our pitcher. Then we're going to top this off with warm water. Again, I'm doing a little bit of a mistake there. I want to try to pour this down the side of it so it doesn't create too much foam. And I can see a little bit of clumping there from our Knox gelatin, so I want to make sure I mix that up well. But the next ingredient we're going to add, which is warm water, we're going to top it up to the 1 gallon level, is going to help the Knox gelatin break down just a little bit more, and then we'll be ready to put it into our sprayer, and I'll show you how to apply it. Now just a word of caution, if you are using the super strong vinegars, whether it's the 40 or the 75, you want to make sure that you wear eye protection and don't do this in a confined area. You want to do it where you have good ventilation, maybe even mix it outside. But the 5% standard kitchen vinegar is no problem there, because everyone uses that in their kitchen for cooking and cleaning. So we're going to top off our formula here up to the 1 gallon mark. And if you have a larger sprayer like this one, which is a 4 gallon sprayer, You can just quadruple the recipe. If you just want to do 2 gallons, you can just double the recipe. So basically the formula I'm showing you today is for 1 gallon. So just size it up to whatever size sprayer you have. You can go with something super small like this and even cut it in half on about a ½ gallon. So I've had a lot of different sprayers over the years, and this has to be one of my favorites. It's a 20-volt sprayer, and it really saves your arm, because if you have the old type where you have to continually pump it over and over, it's a real pain. So if you want one of these, I'll put a link in the description, and it works great. So let's add our 1 gallon mix to our sprayer and try not to spill it there. Not too easy, but it's okay. We're dealing with something that doesn't have a high toxicity. Now I'm going to head out into the garden where I have a tremendous problem with weeds, and it's a kind of a boggy area that I can't push my lawnmower onto or even my riding mower. All right, so let's head out into the garden. And like I said earlier, this area, I can't maintain it well because whenever we have a huge rain come through, that area becomes so muddy that you can't get a lawnmower. So let's take our sprayer out to that area. I'm going to mark off an area I'll spray, and I'm going to show you the before and after and how great this actually works. And it's incredibly safe. Now, as you can see, the gravel walkway is being taken over by weeds in this area that I can't get my lawnmower into, that is just a little too marshy, and we're expecting a rain tomorrow. So I'm hoping I can get this out before the rain starts today. But again, because I've added that one component, the gelatin, it's going to stick to everything much better. So if a rain does come through, no problem, it's still going to kill everything. So one thing to remember, since we are using a food item like gelatin, this is something you shouldn't store. You should completely use it up as soon as you make it. So that's why I recommend mixing them maybe a ½ gallon to a gallon, and then once you've used that up, you can make another batch. So you don't want to make a massive amount like 48 gallons, because then you're going to end up with a whole bunch of leftover, and it can spoil and go bad because of the gelatin. So I will give you a follow-up and let you see how great this works. I'm going to spray just the gravel walkway to a certain point until I run out of the 1 gallon solution we've made, and then we'll come back in 24 hours and take a look and show you how great this actually works. So guys, this recipe is great if you're in a really rainy season where you have things that you're applying and they get washed away, especially if it's a homemade or do-it-yourself recipe. A lot of those don't have the potency or the ability to stick to the leaves like some of the commercial products, but the safety of those is kind of in question. So everybody wants to do the most biologically safe method they can to kill weeds. So this is that way because it is perfectly safe, it's guaranteed to work. You'll knock weeds out, not leaves out, but you'll knock weeds out in maybe 24 to 48 hours. But I'm going to come back in about 24 hours and then show you exactly what happened there. But I'm not going to put it at the end of this video. I want you to go to the link in the description to Patreon. It's a completely free video to take a look at. Just look for weed killing results, and I'll put it in a super short, maybe 10-second, just me standing out there and showing you the difference between the area that I didn't spray and the area I did spray. So this is a great way to do weed spraying if you have pets in your yard or kids, and you don't have to worry about any strong chemicals that will remain unmentioned the name. But anyways, it's perfectly safe. So guys, I really appreciate you watching. If you have a question about this video or any previous video, I hope you'll become a public subscriber first, because I put those questions and comments to the front of the line. I get anywhere from 100 to 300 questions and comments a day, and it's almost impossible to answer everybody. So just take a look at the Patreon, and I think you'll be surprised at the results there. And I really appreciate you watching. Have a great day.